What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Unblinded Real Raw, where we're just talking on how Sean just escaped a shark attack this morning. That's not the reason for the show, but that is actually real. That is not hyperbole. It actually happened. There was a blind man 70 yards in the ocean by himself in the morning, and he got hit by a shark. And now we're on a Real Raw. And that is not what's happening here. What is happening here is that we have heart-centered influencers coming together to display that influence is a superpower. It's present here. And there may be some things that you can learn. And what's going to happen is that for the first half of the show, we're going to be showing what it looks like to build rapport, properly acknowledge and introduce some really amazing people, our 2 contestants and 3 judges. And then we're going to spend the latter half of our time here together displaying and showing our influence off. And to kick us off, the man that survived a shark attack today, John Callagy.
I definitely did not survive a shark attack. There's no integrity in that comment whatsoever, but thank you, Fernando. I was bumped by a shark this morning, pretty confident it was a bull shark. I was definitely bumped by a shark. I'm pretty confident it was a bull shark. And, just back out a few moments ago to make sure that that was not my last moment in the water today, because that would be a little bit, spooky and challenging. I've been in the water a lot in my life. I've been in the water with 100 sharks before, but it's a whole different feeling when you're out in the Atlantic Ocean versus the Caribbean or Bahamas in a shark dive, and you have that type of encounter. By the way, there was a newspaper article I just found out a couple weeks ago about that happening. Before we drop in with all the amazing people, there is outstanding news. I wish ill on nobody. Like, I make a point of wishing ill on nobody. And that includes not wishing ill on this person. But I do love and crave the justice system working. And in this situation, it hasn't worked effectively at all, hasn't been efficient. It's been horrifyingly slow. But in the end, justice is being done. And Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's co-conspirator and partner in the horrors that he committed against women, was arrested a short time ago. And I couldn't be happier that justice is going to be done in that situation, because after learning more about that story and realizing that that person was out free and hadn't been, justice hadn't been served yet, was a horrific reflection both on our justice system, systemic levels of gender bias that occur. And so justice is on the way. So beautiful, beautiful information. And thank you all for being here today. And who is going to be our fantastic person announcing and taking us in today, Fernando?
That is a good question, Mr. Callagy. Krista, who will be supporting us in introducing our contestants and our judges?
That would be Brian Bradley.
What's up, Brian?
Bradley. What's up, Brian? How are you?
Guys, I'm so sorry I'm tardy. I tried to click on something and Zoom was fighting me, so finally I'm in.
Yeah, did you hear about that Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's partner in crime, has been arrested today? So
she is flat out the devil, and I will say it and feel good about it. She is literally the devil.
Yeah, well, it is beautiful to have this occurring. So, Brian, welcome, brother, and how are you?
Very well, guys. Thank you. It's I'm on one of those planets today that is hard to come back from. So I was reading through some of these bios, and I'm like, why doesn't my bio sound like this? Are you guys kidding me? Like, seriously?
Right. And Brian, we had a little fun incident this morning. I was out surfing at 6:30 a.m. and I got bumped by a shark for sure. Pretty sure it was a bull shark. So that's how I woke up this morning. So it was an interesting, fun, and exciting morning, to be sure.
Okay, listen, I got to go. These are kind of stories this is why I live on land. And when somebody says I live 2 miles from the beach, can see it from my bedroom, have to take roads like this, and they say, God, the surfing's going to be great. And I'm saying, it is, but I don't do it.
Surfing was great today. Getting bumped by a bull shark was not. I've been in the water with sharks a bunch, as I said before, but having that occur, being by yourself in the ocean completely, and, having a visual disability, being blind, that wasn't helpful either. So exciting morning. But we're here on the Real Raw. And Brian, can you please share with the world some of the awesome folks that are here?
Yes, thank you. And by the way, being blind or not, you had no chance against the bull shark. So let's just be honest.
That is true, brother. No matter how much you put me in the peak physical conditions, highest state imaginable, no matter what, the bull shark's winning.
Yeah, your shoulders are in the right place, but he's still going to take one of them. So listen, I'm going to go to what I have reading in front of me because I haven't memorized all this. So I'll try to use my Vanna White voice if you guys don't mind, or maybe Bob Barker from what was that? What called it?
The Price is Right. The Price is Right.
Hey, how are you? Okay, well, first of all, guys, we're going to be talking about contestant number 1, David Dean. David, say hello.
Hello.
Listen, after making just $17,000 a year, 3 years in a row, was that before or after taxes?
What taxes?
Exactly. David Dean finally saved $10,000 and built the largest elective healthcare platform in North America, bootstrapping it from the inception to acquisition, owning 100% at the exit, and subsequently taking the partnership public on the New York Stock Exchange.
David Dean.
People like you, a former All-American athlete, David won 2 football NCAA national championships for the University of
Miami.
That's right. That's right. University of Miami. Did you know The Rock?
We played together.
You supported him. That's why where he's at right now. I love it. Thank you for being humble. He's now competing with Lululemon, which Lulu's amazing, but wait to hear what he's doing, with a revolutionary new activewear company that is body positive, eco-sustainable, and on a mission to support the prevention of teen suicide and self-harm. So congratulations on that.
Yeah. David Dean, brother, I've missed you. It's been too long. How are you?
No kidding. It's been way too long, man. I'm so honored to be invited, so thank you for that. And it's wonderful to see your face and your tan. And it's been way too long, and I'm so glad we're here, and I look forward to it. You and I really do need to catch back up.
We do, brother. And can I just ask this? You have maintained your hair length during this process, I hope?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's all back here.
Awesome. I can't see it, so I was just making sure that it was still there. So David and I have had many fun and awesome interactions. We've been in incubators and done innovation sessions and been teamed up, and I find David to be brilliant and incredible, and I'm thrilled you're here. He was on stage, the Unblinded Immersion, making magic happen, and of course, he did happen to play for the Canes, and I was a Notre Dame fan back in the day. We'll forgive him for playing for Jimmy Johnson, one of the most successful coaches ever, not only winning national championships in college, but also Super Bowls, and that's somebody that this man played for, in addition to all the other things he did. So David, welcome, brother.
Sean, I can't thank you enough. And after that phenomenal introduction, Brian, I don't know where you got all that information, but nevertheless, I had no idea you'd be on this call, but seeing your face, first of all, just makes me smile because I adore you. But besides that, as a service to really anyone on this call, as much as anything, I know that, I had major lower back problems. And what you do is surgery, non-surgical based pain prevention, I guess is the best way I can explain it. And having been through chiropractic, acupuncture, Pilates, yoga, and something else that I can't remember right now, nothing fixed it. I did what you guys teach for like 6 weeks, to be fair. 80% of my pain was gone, and I can have it gone all I want as long as I do what Egoscue teaches. Just had to say it because it's one of the biggest blessings I've found, because back surgery is no joke. And I never had it.
I really appreciate it. Let's congratulate him. He did all the work. I have the easy job.
That is awesome. David Dean and Brian in the house. So thank you, David. Brian, we still have another bunch of awesome people.
We do. Let's get to contestant number 2, Stanley Dietrich. Stanley Dietrich, a team member with 360 Life Without Limits, a personal development coaching program. Stanley empowers his clients to transform their limiting beliefs with emotional, spiritual, and physical mindsets. He helps individuals turn thoughts into actions and actions into life on their terms. That's awesome. Stanley specializes in teaching people how to become pain-free in a non-medical approach through alignment and motion, taking the intended setbacks of life and turning them into the setup for living a life absent of limitations.
Awesome. Stanley, what's up, brother?
Well, I am nervous and excited because the man is here, and I had no idea that Brian was going to be on this panel. And so now I'm under like the microscope. So I'm going to sell this like I sell it, and I'm going to love it like I love it. That's all I can say.
That is awesome. That's what the Real Raw is all about. And Stanley, thank you again for the beautiful message from earlier today. It was unbelievable about what we're up to here at Unblinded. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. So Brian, yeah, Stanley's on his toes because Brian, the man, is in the building, brother. And we got some great judges too.
We do. Let's get to judge number one. Michelle, please don't let me say your last name without you saying it first.
Echeverry.
That's exactly what I was going to say. Michelle Echeverry. Say that 3 times, Echeverry. We're going to get that in our heads. She's the founder and CEO of Attorneys in Motion. They are considered the Uber of court appearances. With thousands of attorneys contracted all over the country, they can quickly secure court coverage when lawyers have scheduling conflicts. That's massive. I'm currently working on adding, sorry, not me, I'm reading this, so let me go back. She is currently working on adding freelance work to her list of services so that she can help law firms run more lean businesses and save money by outsourcing instead of hiring more associates. Okay. She sits on the board of a political action committee that strives to diversify the bench by interviewing and endorsing the most qualified and diverse judicial candidates. They are able to add more value to the courtroom and to the justice system.
Michelle, this is like outrageously awesome that you are here. How did you make your way here today?
Well, the lovely Mike Smikin invited me to be in his 10 by 10 group.
Awesome.
And through that, Krista invited me to come on as a judge today, and I feel very honored to be here. So thank you all for this opportunity.
Yeah, it's an honor to have you. And there's just lots of great things that we can all do together. So Michelle, welcome. And, if you're not familiar, we're having fun saying Brian's the man. Brian does just remarkable work, speaks on stages all over the world in front of thousands and thousands of people, has celebrity entertainers, athletes, speakers, and I won't name drop anything, for my benefit. Whoever, not name drop, but I'm not going to share. If Brian wants to share any of the names, he's certainly welcome to. I don't know what permissions he has and doesn't have, but he works with the best of the best on the planet. And so there's this remarkable group of people, and including yourself. So welcome.
Thank you.
Well, those of you, and I'll get to Chris and Nick here. So guys, we didn't forget, but those of you that were on the 7-day comeback challenge, and I'm sure you all were, it was a game changer. And the amount of people, and you guys should see the DMs that are coming in from that. So Tony, once again, has come through with something that the world needs. And Michelle, I can tell you honestly, I have a lot of clients as lawyers and on the bench and all that kind of stuff all over the world. So whatever you're doing to make it just better, please ramp it up a little bit because they need some help. That is for sure.
Absolutely. Brian was referring to Tony Robbins. So,
yes.
The Tony. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it was a massive event. I hopefully, so many new people, which was an amazing thing because the world was suffering and you could see them now. They're just infecting that stuff around. So let's move on to the great Chris Young. Chris, you want Christopher or Chris? You're on mute, sorry.
You're on mute, Chris.
Chris is just fine. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. Chris is strategy and business ethics professor at Rutgers University. Chris, you live in Jersey or PA?
I am in Jersey, yes.
Okay. If you're in PA, I'd say there's a good chance we're related because of all the inbreeding, because that's where I grew up. So I just want to let you know that. The managing partner at Red Maple Economics, a boutique firm that specializes in assisting entrepreneurs and business owners when they have been financially harmed. He lives, look at this, he lives in New Jersey with a wife of 20 years and 3 children. Hey, Brian, read the last line. I get it.
So, Chris, Mr. Chris Young was the economic damages expert on our 2 top 100 national jury verdicts in 3 years. It made us one of only 2 law firms in the country to do that, and the only one that was led by a trial counsel who was legally blind, who happens to be truly. And Chris is unbelievable. His integrity, his persistence, his brilliance, and I mean this sincerely. In the second top 100 verdict, which is I believe the largest verdict in the last decade in Arizona and still stands as such, Chris, when we talked to allegedly the best of the best all over the place, and nobody could figure out the damage theory. And Chris Young was like, yeah, of course this is what it is. And we fought to make law in that case through unbelievable work of Michael Smikin, who Michelle mentioned, and respectfully the entire team and myself. And it was absolutely incredible. And if it wasn't for Chris's work and our combined work, the verdict in that case would have been $0 or $1 million, and it ended up being $27 million. between compensatory and punitive damages. And Chris is an absolute and utter genius, person of integrity. He's a veteran, and thank you, brother, as we approach the 4th of July and think about our freedom. Thank you for your service and being a remarkable human.
Sean, thank you for those really nice words. But in all reality, it was the Callagy team that drove that case. I was just a little support piece. But you guys do awesome work.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. So yes, Brian, we have not only these mighty people, but we have one more remarkable and amazing man.
Yes, we have the great Nick Knutzen. Nick, I love his last statement on here. If he's not learning, he's not living. He's one part chef and one part coach, teaching men to be fully present, cook healthy, and live authentically. God, I need your help in my kitchen. It's amazing what I can do. I'm crushing my butcher box way too much. It should taste better. He approaches life as a warrior and with a warrior mindset and of showing up fully present physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. If he's not learning, he's not living.
So what's up, Nick?
Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Greetings from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Really grateful to be on this Real Raw. And yeah, thanks, Brian, for that awesome Bob Barker introduction. He's a South Dakota native like myself. So, there's few and far between famous South Dakota people. So that one really touches my heart. So thank you.
Hey, Nick, you have any bull sharks in Minnesota?
No, but we have bullhead fish.
There you go. All right, we're ready to roll. So amazing. Brian, you are the best for being here. I couldn't be more grateful. And our role player today, I believe, and Brian, for as long as you want to hang and not, we could always go back and forth on some cool stuff. It's up to you. But we have an awesome role player. I think it is the one and only Tony Rodrigues. Did I hear that, amazing man?
Indeed it is. How are you, brother?
All right. You've been missed the last few days. Your absence was felt. And yeah, I mean, amazing people, but your absence is always felt, Tony. Trainer in the Tony Robbins world, Mr. Get Up and Grow. And he is all about growing through what you go through. And he's just a remarkable, amazing person, a friend. And Tony, welcome.
Thanks, brother. Happy to be here. Brian, good to see you. Brian continues to shine brighter than I don't know what, with speaking in front of 300,000 people with TR last week. So really good stuff, Brian. I got to catch a few episodes, catching up as I was in Montana, taking another life-changing course, to help change businesses anyway, but that's enough about me. Happy to be here with all of you guys and to be on this panel. Chris, Dean, David, Nick, Michelle, Stanley, you guys are all badass. Of course, Brian and Sean, let's not forget you guys. And like I said, as the show started, happy that you're still among us with all of your limbs and digits.
That is true. My next adventure in body surfing, because by the way, the break outside of Tony Robbins' house in Palm Beach is phenomenal. I had the privilege last year of being in his house as a lion. I'll be there in a week. And when everybody else is doing yoga and other fun stuff, I am enjoying the body surfing break right outside of Tony's house, which is truly world-class. So I'm looking forward to that.
Nice.
Yeah, so that is awesome. And here we are, we're ready to rock and roll. Brian, I haven't caught yet the full comeback challenge. I had some real raws and other things during it, but I'm catching up. I was there live the first day. I haven't seen your presentation yet. I can't wait. I'm always inspired by your Zeus energy, but your deep love for people and just your truth. So great job, brother.
7 days, I had 36 minutes. It's not that life-changing. But it did get people moving. And Tony, I'm on your 10 by 10, and that's going to be a game changer. So I appreciate you inviting me.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, happy to have you on. By the way, Sean, I don't know if you know that, but Brian's on my 10 by 10. And by the way, if anybody ever wants to get Brian, a little bit more of Brian, shameless plug, I do a show every day, 6 days a week called Tony Talks, even though I have not been on this week. But Brian is my standing Saturday guest at 6 o'clock Eastern. So he'll be on with two fantastic women. I don't know, are we going to do this Saturday? But side conversation. I don't think we're doing this.
What you've just done is you just told them what day not to listen to. So the other 6 days you'll have.
No. And listen, there is no such thing as, there's no shame in any presentation of truth, and the work that you guys are up to. Tony, phenomenal. Brian, phenomenal. And sharing with the world is what it's all about. And that's what we're here to talk about, how to unlock that. Because Brother, if David Dean didn't have the power, the superpower of influence mastery, then David Dean doesn't go from making $17,000 to building the largest elective healthcare platform in North America and going to the stock market and all the incredible things that he did. So David, physically, where in the world are you today?
I'm down in Palm Beach, Florida.
You're in Palm Beach. So
Yeah.
you're definitely farther away. So you're the away team, further away than Stanley, I believe. Stanley, you're further than Palm Beach, correct? From New Jersey? I mean, David's further than you, correct? Stanley muted?
He is.
Okay, so I'll go with that. So David, I have a 1 or a 2 under the table. What do you think it is, brother?
1.
It is a 2.
Okay.
So Stanley has won the toss, and he gets to like kick off, receive, defer. We have like all kinds of like football like choices, David. Stanley, you unmuted yet, brother?
I am. I'm unmuted.
Yes. Would you like to go first or second?
I will go first.
Woof.
Oh,
All right.
cool.
And who would you like the one and only Tony Rodrigues to be?
I'm going to go for the mountain, and I'm going to want Tony to be a disability lawyer.
Boom. All right. So Tony Rodrigues, you're a disability lawyer. Just a quick fill-in. You work and help people receive disability benefits from the federal government or short or long-term disability, but you're working with people with a lot of chronic illnesses and other problems, and that's the work that you do. Sound good, Tony?
Sounds good.
All right. So Stanley, you got 3 minutes, brother. You hear the alarm at 2, and know you have a minute to go. Take us in.
Is this a scheduled call, by the way, or a cold call?
This is a follow-up call.
A follow-up call.
Yes.
Okay.
Schedule call. Yep.
Scheduled.
Ring, ring.
Hello?
Hey, Tony. This is Stan Dietrich with 360 Life Without Limits. We talked about a week ago, and you had some interest in what I do with the Egoscue therapy, but do you have a few minutes that we could have a chat?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Got 2 minutes, actually.
I appreciate that. Tony, before we get to the topic, could you tell me what it is that you specialize in and what you focus on as a disability attorney?
Sure. I help people that are disabled and have challenges to get disability insurance from the federal government and from other programs, wherever we can to support them.
Okay. So your passion for that, could you tell me what sparked that? What made you go to that?
Well, there's so many people that are struggling through the occurrences that may have happened in their life, whether it's an accident or they were born that way, or there's so many people in a bad situation that we as a society need to take care of the people that can no longer take care of themselves or have a hard time taking care of themselves. So I feel that it's my duty and obligation to make sure that people have a healthy lifestyle or able to live, and they're entitled to the same thing that everyone else is.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Tony, can I ask you, if you were going to leave a legacy in a 70-mile-an-hour statement on a billboard going down the highway, what would that legacy statement say?
Run that one by me again.
Say that again.
A legacy statement.
Yeah. What would you want your legacy to be in that pain, changing that?
Interesting question. I would want that to be, but is it a billboard just saying what I did, or are you, I'm just trying to figure out or quantify it, or am I trying to share a message or let people know what I do, what I did, or what I'm doing?
What you did. What
I did.
What you stand for.
Justice and service, and one of my passions is really helping veterans that have a hard time getting some of those disability benefits from the government. So it would be, I help find hope to those who are hopeless.
Fantastic. I love that. And I'd like to, I know we only have a little bit of time, and I'd like to schedule up another time, because I think what you do, your alignment with bringing hope to those that can't find it, aligns totally with what I do with Igasku and bringing pain-free management to people so that they can experience life as they were intended to. Do you think we could set up another appointment to do that?
Yeah, I'd be interested. So what does that look like? The Igasku, I've heard of it, but
we're pick up, Tony got a phone call. Pick that up right after your call. Sound good?
Yeah, I've actually got a call coming in, Stanley, so we can schedule a call later today.
Yeah, pick it right up. Awesome. So pick up right there with Igasku. Excellent job, Stanley. One word, Tony, for how that felt.
You know, I love how I keep getting put on the spot to come up with these things. So it was thought-provoking. So he made me really stop and think. And I was battling what this attorney would say as to what I would say and kind of marry the two. And I did what I could. But he made me go into my own mind and think about it. So that was interesting. It was an interesting part. Sorry, much more than one word.
Yeah, no, awesome. So David Dean, who would you like? What's a big yes you're up to in the world? And who would you like Tony to be to get it?
I'm thinking I'd like Tony to be someone I'd like to hire for my senior level executive team.
Cool. And just remembering, this is a 6-minute conversation cut in half by a phone call and then continued. So like it's one entire conversation. You don't have to complete the first conversation by rescheduling anything. It's just like there, and then we continue, right? So for the judges in this round, we're assessing for Stanley and David how they're opening up listening and putting something at stake. So David, you'd like him to be somebody you're interviewing for your executive team, correct?
Yes.
All right, take us in.
So Tony, I'm glad we're speaking, and I'm really grateful to be introduced to you by Linda. She's a fantastic CMO, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you. I know we only have a little bit of time here, so honestly, my only intention is an optimal outcome for you out of the next 3 minutes. So if you don't mind, we'll go through kind of a quick lightning round of several questions so I can understand if this might be a good fit for you and for both of us. So the first question I really wanted to ask is, what is most important in your life in the next 3 to 5 years that ties into about what you are most passionate?
It's about making an impact in people's lives and improving their lives however I can.
When you say impact, do you mean in a socially conscious, socially responsible way? Do you mean influencing, inspiring them?
Yes and yes. So in a socially conscious way for sure, but certainly what you do and what I do and what I've done aligns, because it's really all about helping people be healthier mentally, physically, emotionally. And certainly this we're talking about physically, but when it comes to insurance, we're hopefully covering all aspects of that. So I know that your company is aligned with that and looking out for the better health and just to have a better society. So I'm excited to have the opportunity to have this conversation with you as well.
So what I hear you saying is that you really are interested in helping people on an individual micro level, but also helping people globally on a more of a grand overarching scale.
Absolutely. I think that making a difference in the world on a grand scale starts with one individual at a time, right? With one and then one to many, as opposed to sometimes going to many, it's hard to have the impact. So if you're taking care of the individual, then you'll grow. If you try to, so I think it's rooted in that individual care.
With respect to you, where do you think this comes from? Like, why do you think that you're that way? Why is that important to you?
You know, there's been moments in my life that I've faced a lot of difficulty. There have been moments in my career that I've not had, for one reason or another, not had health insurance and not had the ability. And I understand the fear that is, because living in this country, specifically, if you've got nothing, then if you've got nothing and you get sick or you get something serious, you're better off not having anything than having something. Because if you have something, you have a nest egg, you have a home, and you get caught up in some kind of medical emergency with no insurance, then you're gonna wind up having nothing. So, giving people access to proper and adequate health insurance, I think, is monumental.
Yes. So you want to help people, save people from the fear of the unknown and the lack of being certain and safe.
Oh, sure. And, and make sure that people have the proper health insurance and the ability to have access to that and not forego a procedure, not forego something that in some cases actually depart early, leaving their family and whatever else in bad positions. There's so many bad things that happen when people get sick and don't have proper insurance, from everything from, people not taking care of themselves to suicide to all kinds of other things because people are hopeless.
David's got to take a quick call in a minute, so we'll pick it up from there. Sound good, gentlemen?
Thanks so much.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tony.
Excellent. Okay, so by the way, David, how'd that feel for you?
Well, I feel like we only got halfway through it. Hopefully that was the intention. I didn't know, and I didn't get as far as I wanted to. Overall, I liked it a lot. It felt like Tony was introspective, felt like he was connected, and it felt like he was experiencing a sense of emotion with respect to where we were going. And so I feel that that's important to have people lean into what's possible.
Awesome. Yeah, and it's only midway, so that's exactly it. And you just continue from there in the second half. So let's drop in. Judges, for each participant, let's try to stick with 30, max 45 seconds. You'll hear the buzzer at 30 seconds, and then please complete that analysis and give a score. And so, Nick, we'll start with you. And please, what do you got for Stanley? And a little bit of positive. What was a growth opportunity and score?
Yeah, Stanley, awesome energy to start like right out the gate. Your emotional energetic transference for what you do was very clear and apparent. For me, I thought that the question about the billboard going 70 miles per hour was a little out of left field, but you also did sort of create a scotoma. So you made him stop and think, which maybe was really advantageous to who you're talking to. But I would say for a score, right around a 7.5.
Very nice. And for David?
For David, I love, I can, coming in with a very heart-centered, I felt that, very calm in your voice. You really opened up Tony's listening, and I just felt like your questions were really good. I thought if there was one thing, I thought maybe you guided what the word impact might have meant for Tony. So maybe say, so tell me, what does impact mean for you? Or what that means for you. Other than that, you definitely opened up his listening, and I would say, an 8.2.
Helpful, thank you.
Awesome. So Chris, what do you have for Stanley?
Yeah, so again, energy, I thought the energy was excellent. You came right in, you kind of took charge of the conversation. You were probing, you were at least attempting to probe, I think, and did a pretty good job at that. I kind of agree with Nick on his comment. I think the one question you asked about the billboard sign, especially with the amount of time you had, was probably a little challenging. Though maybe we could look at it from the opposite perspective too, which has got somebody thinking, right? Which I thought was really good. You were trying to build rapport, so wonderful there. I just thought the question was a little bit challenging. I know for me. If I didn't know who you were necessarily, I probably would have discounted that a little bit and maybe rushed you off the phone. Not sure, but that's probably what I'm thinking. For David, David.
Yeah, for score, real quick.
I got a 7.5.
Okay.
For David, one thing that's really nice about you, even when I first met you, you're very sincere. Comes off very, very quick, very. As soon as you hear you speak, I feel that sincerity. I also like the fact that you were probing pretty good. Your questions were a little bit easier to digest, in my opinion. I think that was a major difference between the two. You were building, obviously, a good rapport. I liked a couple terms you were throwing out there, such as you said, optimal outcome. You also talked about what is a good fit. Once again, you asked what's important to you. You did exactly what what I think Stanley was doing, but perhaps in just a little bit of an easier to digest way. So again, I thought that was great. I also like the fact that you structured the comments and you gave it back to the person, and they listened to you and they said, oh, this person's actually listening to everything I'm saying. So I enjoyed that. I would give you an 8.5.
Very nice. Thank you, Chris Young. Michelle, what do you have for Stanley and David?
Stanley, how do I not? I feel like I'm just repeating what the other two just said. The energy was wonderful. It was high energy. You asked some good questions, but they could have been a little bit more direct and easy to digest, like the billboard question. For a second I thought you were trying to sell like advertising or something, so I wasn't. It's just because you mentioned the billboard. Good job overall. Just maybe simplify the questions a little bit, and I guess my score would be give you an 8.
Cool, thank you. And for David?
And for David, great energy as well. I really liked I feel like you really your questions got to his emotions and to his pain and what it would feel like to not have medical insurance and not be able to have these procedures. And it really got to his source of pain. So you were able to really get a hold of his emotions that way. So I'm going to give you a 9.5.
Very nice.
Great.
So let's drop, yeah, great job, Michelle. So I'm going to drop in real quick with Tony. You ready, Tony?
Yep.
Okay. So I just want to show that Stanley was so on the right track, just got a little loose, and I just want to see what we could do with that. So, hey, Tony, thank you so much for taking my call. I'd love to just, chat for those couple minutes we had. You said you have about 3 minutes, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, awesome. So can I ask you this? You're a disability attorney. I know you're successful in the industry, but what's present for you? I know Corona's been a little bit crazy. How are things going?
Things are still going well. Their business has been a little challenging because courts have been closed, and a lot of the normal operations of our business have been hindered. But we're still continuing to communicate with our clients and assuring them that we're going to, that we're pushing forward on everything and keeping everyone's hopes alive.
Cool, awesome. And if I could ask, the real purpose of this conversation for me is to see if there's ways that we can support each other, but it's not like general networking. So to get to that, are you looking to grow? At this point, I think people want money, time, or magic / fulfillment. Do you want to grow your practice? Are you looking to create more time and scale? Do you want more magic, or is everything just perfect the way it is?
So now it's always, if you're not growing, you're dying. So I'm always looking for the next level, finding the edge, how I can certainly, again, make more money to make more magic and do more good. So yeah, expanding and growing is always great because it's not just the financial aspect, but the amount of people that we can help to get them where they need, what they need, and where they need to be.
Awesome. And I'm hearing that love for people, is clear. So I'm getting that that's important to you, but why are you still going? At this stage, the growth, is it the impact? What's the ultimate dream and vision for your practice and what you're up to?
It's about creating something bigger than myself so that get to the point where, I can scale it to a point that I can maybe step away and have more time. So I can have more of those magic moments and create more of those magic moments, and still be able to impact lives by having the right team around me that's going to continue what I've created and continue the legacy.
Awesome. So we got about a minute to go. So just again, I'm a functional medicine practitioner, and I'm not asking you to just refer me cases. And that's not the type of relationship I want to create. What I'm really looking for are for people like yourself that are integrity filled and growth minded that want to make an impact. And I've taken this program and I'm meeting a lot of different amazing, incredible people like, world-class speakers, TV lawyers, accountants, just incredibly successful folks. And I've learned a lot of methodologies about how like people like ourselves, professionals that are working with the same types of folks can come together to create massive business acceleration. And if you're interested in pursuing that conversation, I know we're out of time for now, I'd love to talk more about it, but only if truly, and a lot of people say it, Tony, and I hear you, and I know you're telling me the truth, but in your heart, like, do you really want to grow and accelerate? And if you do, I'd love to talk more.
Yeah, absolutely. It's certainly something that I am looking to do, and this is what I'm here for, not to play small and to keep getting bigger and having more of an impact in the world.
Cool. All right. So, Tony, quick pause. How did that feel for you, that encounter we just had?
It felt good. It felt inspiring. Intrigued. So yeah, it really is about growth. Anyone that's in business is in business to be able to first make money. And many of us are here not just to make money and have a really good revenue stream, but also to make an impact.
Yeah. So thank you, Tony. David Dean, if Stanley made that phone call to 100 disability attorneys that said, yes, I want to grow. Like I do want more. What percentage would you think would refuse a follow-up phone call with him to explore more?
Who would refuse?
No. What percentage out of 100 that said, yes, I do want more money time? Yeah. What percentage you think would say no to him saying, hey, let's have a half an hour conversation, explore more?
I think that at absolute worst, maybe 7%, because there's always the wild cards. Yeah. But I mean, it would be pretty darn difficult for anyone, because everyone, no matter how much business they have, no matter how long the line is out the door, they can't resist the temptation of a few more good clients, and you made it pretty irresistible.
Yeah. So yeah, safe to say over 80% of those disability attorneys would want to talk more and follow into a conversation with Stanley and be feeling interested in his leadership.
Well over 80%, truly. Yeah. Having made hundreds and hundreds and thousands of calls like that. Yeah. Well over 80%.
All right. Stanley, how does that feel for you?
I got that. I got those distinctions. In all honesty, I felt that once I asked him about the question, because it was going on, and then I made him think. Then I was like, okay, now I'm getting out of my heart and into my head. How am I going to bring this back to the end of that 3 minutes? So
watch this, Stanley, just watch this. So when David, because Tony got a little bit loose, right? So, and it's like, what? I'm not sure what you mean. Say Tony, like just shift your energy and lean in, right? So it's like, Tony, all I'm asking you, man, is like, why are you doing this? Like, what is it all about for you? And I ask that only because we may not be a good fit, but that's what I'm exploring, and I'll answer anything for you, but why are you doing this?
Right.
That's it. So you ask the same question, just shift your energy. Like, of course, from my heart, like more in my heart. Yeah. Like, why? Michelle, how did you feel about my presentation to Tony?
I would buy your service. I would definitely use your services. I thought it was much more, it's not that his didn't feel authentic. It's just that yours really felt authentic. And,
yeah. And can I tell you what else, Michelle, and everybody here? One of the indispensable elements is integrity-based scarcity, Stanley. So there's a little bit of pursuit energy there. I was present for Tony. It wasn't like, Tony, I'm a busy man, you in or you're out. It wasn't that. It was like, I want to analyze this, like for both of us, like we both do, but I'm not attached to the outcome. Like I'm desirous of a positive outcome, but I'm not attached, like I'm chasing you. You feel that, Stanley?
Yeah, I did feel that energy shift.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Hey, let's go round 2. That's what we're here to do. Awesome job, brother. So in round 2, since you went first, Stanley, you get to choose first or second in round 2.
I'll go first.
Awesome. Take us in.
Okay. Ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Tony, this is Stan Dietrich again. How you doing today?
Good, Stan. How are you?
Good, good. Hey, I'm just following up on our last conversation. And what I got from that conversation was your passion for people that don't have a voice. Would that be a fair statement?
Yes. Or for people who lost their voice.
Yeah. And you've taken up that flag to make a difference in people's lives.
Yes.
I would like to share a little bit about why I think partnering with you would work and be beneficial, not only to myself, but it would be beneficial to you because you are the voice for your clients, and I could be the voice for you and an affirmer of what you do. Would you mind if I share a little bit about what I do?
Yeah, I'm kind of waiting on that because I'm curious.
Okay. Okay. So what I do is I teach people how to become pain-free without medicine. And I know that the system is broken. Would you agree with me that the medical system is broken? We want to push pills and surgeries and push people off.
Yeah, very much. Very much.
And how does that make you feel, Tony, when one of your clients goes through that?
It's aggravating. It's aggravating, and I know that it's wrong. So yeah, I think it's definitely time for a change. And I'm fighting every day with my for my clients to that end as well.
Exactly. Well, what I do is I teach people how to become pain-free, and it's through a method called Igasku. And so we treat the body as a unit. So from the head to the toe, we don't chase symptoms, we chase the cause. And a few of my clients, I got one young man, he's 35 years old, and he has had a battery of tests, MRIs, CAT scans, brain scans, heart scans, blood tests, $10,000 worth of tests. And they come up and they say, there's nothing wrong with him. And so as a dire need, he reaches out to me and we start to work together. After a week, he's able to get more than 2 hours of sleep a night. After 2 weeks, he's sleeping 6 hours a night, and the pain in his back, the pain in his hips, they're gone. And what I want to do is I want to partner with you in a capacity to bring our awareness of holistic health and Igasku method to where the insurance companies would actually accept this. Is that something that would be interest of you in your practice?
It is. At that point, is the so are the people fixed? Are they going to no longer need disability, or what are we talking about?
Yeah, these people are getting results that are phenomenal. This is revolutionary, but it's not rocket science. It's taking what the body has, using it in the way that it was designed to use, and engaging all the muscles to operate the body. And it takes these clients that they're just basically washed off, and it gives them more than hope. It gives them belief. It gives them belief that they are not broken. And I'd like more opportunity to share that with you, and also to show you in detail what that would entail. What would that
look like? I know you had mentioned a partnership. What's that going to look like when I'm partnering with you? I mean, I get that I've got the clients that you want, and this is business after all. What happens? How does that reciprocal partnership?
Well, the reciprocation would be the more the people that you support and you support. Let me use that word. That as other people see this, they're going to come to you because they're going to know you're going to be the man that's going to be able to fight for them. And that's what I'm understanding you do. You fight for your clients. I fight for my clients. You give them hope. I give them the options. And together we complete that. And that's what I'd like to do with you.
Yeah. Last 10 seconds.
Okay. Well, listen, certainly this is maybe a conversation that needs to go a little further. So.
Fantastic. Fantastic. I appreciate your time, Tony. And I just thank you for the opportunity to speak with you.
Okay. Take care, Stanley.
Yeah. Nice work, Stanley. All right, Stanley, how'd that feel for you?
It felt better, a little more relaxed. I don't see Brian on here, so that took some of the heat off. But no, seriously, when you're presenting and you want to get that confirmation of conformity, of congruence, it's finding those distinctions where he's at on the paradigm.
Awesome. So quick thought, right? Let's talk more about the ask, like in that disability attorney context. I might be saying, hey, let's do some joint speaking engagements. Your clients need me, my clients need you. And then let's go find clients that need us together. You're going to do a little of this. I'm going to do a little of that. I'll reach out to these disability groups. You reach out to those. Let's like put speaking engagements together. So we're doubling our efforts. Find a second, maybe a third and a fourth partner that are non-competitive what we're doing, and put all those together. So we're growing our businesses together. Make sense?
Makes sense.
Awesome. Okay. David, are you ready, sir?
Yes. Quick question for clarity. We were talking about possibly having Tony become an executive with my company, and then when Tony was talking about the insurance, and so I just want to be clear on what do I want Tony to do?
You whatever you want. I think you want him to be hired for your company, or you're recruiting him, correct?
Okay. Great. Okay, so that's what it'll be. He's a potential employee for me.
Yeah. Whatever, you're driving, so whatever you want him to be. Make sense?
Very good. Perfect.
So Tony, you're a potential employee for David's company. Yeah. So
awesome.
Good thing, David. Yep.
So Tony, great to talk again. And I've actually thought a lot about what we were chatting about recently, and just what you said about making impact and making a difference, and why that's so part and parcel to who you are as a person. What would you say in your life is really working for you in that area right now?
In the area of
making an impact, influencing lives, changing things, be it local or globally.
I'm very involved in my community, and I speak in front of groups of people, help them find their strength, to help them find their hero, so they can really live their best life. And so I'm involved with that. I've been involved with that for a while. So that's something that I do outside of, that's part of my contribution.
Amazing. And in what areas of your life would you like to have more? Where is it not maybe coming together in terms of having the amount of impact that you want personally or professionally?
Just being, I guess, the idea of working with someone that's also making an impact allows me to expand upon that. And then I bring my work career, and it gets more in line with my with what I do to help the world. And if I'm working with someone that's also doing the same thing and having a positive impact in the world, then there's a positive impact in my life as well.
So is there places where is there a void of that, maybe professionally, where it's not as much as or deeply as you want, and it's not complemented by the people with whom you're working?
Right. The last company that I was with wasn't aligned with that. And, this is why I have the opportunity, or we have the opportunity to meet.
What do you think it looks like? How does it feel to you if it goes the next year, the next 3 years, the next 5 years, and that doesn't come together? It's not part of your life.
Well, it will be. I'm at this point, I'm having the conversation to make it part of my life with you. But if not with you, definitely that's the search that I'm on, and that's where I'm going to end up. So, in 3 years, I won't be here. In 3 years, I'll be.
15 seconds.
And so you may have understood that our first company was actually had an exit and then went public, and so we built large businesses before. And what I wanted to look at was, how do I take what I knew from direct to consumer marketing and turn it into an empire that can be one that gives back? And so our missions are twofold. One is to mitigate pollution, waste, plastic, and effectively, if you will, save the turtles, because fashion is actually the second most pollutant industry in the world. And the second is the prevention of teen suicide and self-harm. I know that someone with your background, not to mention your empathy for how you want to bring good to more people, would be a phenomenal fit. And I'd love that if we could have a further conversation about this, perhaps in the next week or so, regarding potentially aligning to work together and bring that fulfillment that you really want to have in your life professionally, that you maybe haven't had in terms of your working relationship thus far.
Yeah, that'd be great. Looking forward to it.
Awesome. Excellent work, David. Tony, how did that feel for you?
felt great. It felt congruent. I mean, obviously he's authentic in his, and I sense the integrity in him and what he's doing. And I apologize, I didn't realize you were out of the health insurance because I was distracted when.
No worries.
I'm sorry if I did miss about 30 seconds of that. So I missed the exit and into something else, but nevertheless, still worthwhile cause. And again, I can feel your heart. I can feel your energy. So it felt great. It felt great because of that, for sure.
All right, Michelle, what do you have for Stanley and David?
Stanley, I thought that this time around was much better. Your energy when you came in seemed softer. More of your goddess energy, and it seemed very inviting. So I wanted to listen more. Your questions were much more simple, so they're easier to follow. I liked how you really wanted to solidify or affirm, the connection that you two could have together, working together. You really got to his pain and suffering through his frustration for his clients. Great job there. I think that you really kept him, and from somebody that lives in pain, I was like, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. So I think that if he wanted to partner with you, whatever it is that you have that seems different than somebody else's pain management, seems like he could have been interested. So good job. I give you a 9.5 for that.
Oh, nice. Awesome. And for David?
And then for David, I mean, you're good at what you do. I'm sure you already know that.
Thank you.
I thought that your energy coming into this was a little bit stronger. You had already developed that emotional rapport with him. Mm-hmm. So it seemed to me like, okay, you're good. You've already got that. Now you're going in for the direct questioning, establishing that you are interested in getting to know him a little bit more about him. And then you transitioned your energy back to this emotional empathetic rapport again. And so the transition was just seamless.
Thank you.
Awesome. What'd you have for a score, Michelle?
9.5.
Very nice. Excellent. Chris Young, what do you got, sir? Great job, Michelle.
Yeah, so Stanley first.
Yes, sir.
So Stanley, I thought this one, I actually felt you a lot in the second one. So kudos to that. You did a couple of things in this pitch that you didn't do, or in this conversation that you did in the last time. In particular, you used the example. I thought the child example that you used was brilliant, because you're telling a story. And as soon as you tell a story, at least for me, I kind of get drawn into that story. So I thought that was really good, and it was sincere. And I felt the goddess energy coming out when you were telling that story. I also like the fact that you talked a little bit about hope, and you discussed, I think you called it igasku.
Yes.
Which for me, I was like, well, what's that? I kind of hung on that word a little bit. So for me, it drew me into the conversation. That with the story, I thought would have, made me pay attention a lot more, which was great. But let me ask you this, because maybe I missed it. I don't think you asked for anything. Did you go in for the ask at the end, or
to partnership with him and his clients?
Yeah, I think maybe that could have been a little bit more. These are the next follow-up conversations. This is what I would like from this conversation, or something like that. So I thought that was great. I'm like Michelle. I'm going to give you a 9.5 for the second time around.
Thank you.
What do you have for David?
Yeah, for David, again, same thing, right? You came at the conversation very similarly. I felt comfortable being and listening to you. I don't know, maybe my sense was you were asking a lot of probing questions, which were great, but I felt as though when you transitioned from the probing questions to telling, a little bit more about your business, I think the business piece was a little rushed at the end, maybe because you're running out of time, and Sean said, a couple seconds to go, and you got into a little bit about what you do, trying to build an empire to do these following things.
Yeah, I definitely blame Sean.
but I thought it was great. It felt pretty seamless to me. I thought both of you guys did a great job. So I'm going to give you a 9.2 for that time around.
Very
Right.
good.
Hey, Chris, how was your experience judging and being here on the Real Raw?
Yeah, this is fun. It's fun stuff. It's always, it's always much easier to judge than to actually do the work. So, but you know, when you're in this position, you get to actually pay more attention and be critical. You know, you learn from that. But I think everybody did a great job. That was wonderful. Very, very hard to do this type of stuff on the fly. So kudos to you guys.
And Chris, for just in service of everybody, part of what we do here is emphasizing the magic and power of influence and the exponential differential created by it. You see that every day in the space of influence in the courtroom and influence in many other places. Can you just speak into that maybe for 30 seconds, like to bring present how critically important, like how you can get nothing, everything, something in between, just in minor distinctions of influence. Do you agree with that statement or no?
I totally agree with that statement. You know, we get a chance, you know, what I do, I'm blessed to do it, right? We're in the courtroom or in arbitration, mediation, even more than attorneys are. So we get a chance to, and I say this all the time, I could probably size up a good attorney from a bad attorney in about 5 minutes or less. And what I've noticed from really good attorneys, wink, wink, the Sean Callagy's, the Mike Smikins of the world, is that they can clearly communicate a story. They get people bought into their position. They win people by the hearts and the minds, right? So it's not just one perspective. And that's not just necessarily a call out to Sean, although he deserves it. It's really important, particularly in the law. And, you know, some attorneys are just awful and they lose all the time. And there's some real harm done to some of the clients because of it. So very important in my opinion, Sean.
Yeah, Chris, it's the same, by the way, I'll respectfully submit in everything that there's a hello to a yes. There's a hello to yes with military leadership. There's a hello to yes with 501c3 leadership. There's a hello to yes with selling, with marketing, with coaching a sports team at the, you know, Little League level to the Jimmy Johnson and the NCAAs and, you know, NFL. All of it's about the superpower of influence.
Indeed.
So thank you, brother. And your integrity-based influence, again, is why there's 2 top 100 jury verdicts sitting there for Callagy Law we co-created. So thank you, brother.
Thank you.
So, by the way, Michelle, how was this experience for you today?
I like this experience. Obviously, this is my first time. I haven't watched too many of the Real Raws because of the time difference where I'm at. So I usually, you know, it's middle of the day over here. I miss a lot of it. So it's good to sit and just really, really open up my listening and be a participant. It's completely different than when you do watch it.
Yeah. So you know, because Michelle, like part of it, we're drawing to a close in a minute. We'll get to Nick in 1 second and wrap up. But when you look at somebody like David Dean, you know, so many people start out in a business where they want to help people the way he wanted to help people in marketing, growing their business. And the frequency with which people said yes, referred him to other people, leads to him building a massive company, to an exit, to an IPO, when a lot of folks that would claim to be in the same business as his are having a hard time making a couple $1,000s a month, which is who he was before he became the person he was, right? So these microscopic distinctions, you know, good, great, outstanding, world class is the difference between making $50,000 and $10 million a year. And it's not that different, you know. And David, just quick thought on that. Do you agree with that statement or no?
That's literally true. It's not that much different. It's having it be important enough to you that you commit to acquiring the tools, that you will talk yourself into going out and doing it, and then knowing how to follow through strategically and tactically. But I'm the same flesh and blood that I was when I made $17,000 a year, 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
But I got so mad at myself and the existence I was living that I refused to be that person anymore. And when you get to that point and you can say, that's it, never again, no more, and I'm going to learn, read, listen to, and apply everything that I have to and can, then all of a sudden that's the moment your life changes. And that's when you go from $17,000 a year to $17,000 a day.
Amen, brother. Great job. I'm so proud of you, bro. Nick, what's happening? What do you got for these fine folks?
Okay, so back in it here, Stanley, love the heart, love the passion, and a great dance between Tony's pain, yes, and your heroic, unique identity. I thought the one little thing that you could do to really blast that pain, yes, would be to, after you shared that story about the young man, you could turn that back onto Tony and be like, hey, so how many of those types of young men are you servicing, right? So I felt like you could really help frame the pain and the mission of what Tony really wants to accomplish, turn it back on him and then take it back over and be like, well, this is exactly what I do. Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
So I'd say a 9.1 for you, Stanley.
Thank you.
And for David, man, I love your congruence. I love your authenticity, bro. I felt like you did a great job of establishing the stakes. Great question about what's present that's supporting him fulfill his mission and impact, what's missing, that if we're present, awesome job there. And then I felt like, if you could really, the only thing I could see to make it a little bit more powerful is to really bring the stakes up a little bit more, maybe get into that dance like I was talking to about Stanley, maybe shift it back and forth, because your business, what you're doing, I think you ran out of time, but then you turn it back on Tony and be like, hey, so what I just shared, how does that, what is present with you, right? Mm-hmm. I know you ran out of time.
No, I like a lot of that though. That's great. That's great feedback.
So 9.2 for you, David.
And Nick, how was your experience here today?
Yeah, my experience is, I think it's easier to sit in the judge's role, but this is like I said, if I'm not learning, I'm not living. And so this is amazing. David and Stanley, thank you so much for being vulnerable and showing up with who you are and all the great work that both of you are doing. I'm just super grateful and super blown away by just the quality of people that are on this call. And it's just really cool to absorb the gifts that you were giving here today. So thank you.
Awesome. And Stanley, how was your day, bro?
My day has been fantastic. It really has. From the morning, all the way through, just the ability to share. And then I also did a lot of receiving from other people, as I was sharing with Fernando. It was people reached out and said, you were the voice that I've been wanting to vocalize and I wanted to give up. And it was like, you gave me a reason not to. And so that makes the whole day amazing, outstanding. Yeah. So thank you.
You stepped into amazing leadership, new level of leadership, and your voice was incredible, Stanley. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Tony R., it's Thankful Thursday. I'm thankful for you. Any final words from the big man?
I appreciate that. I'm thankful to be here every time that I have the opportunity to be here, always connecting with great people. David, I love what you're doing. Stan, you're the man, Stan the man. That's just the way it is. I would absolutely, just to touch on that, what Sean had said was brilliant because, and also what Nick said, if you had taken that pain and said, listen, how many people are in your clients of yours now that this can absolutely help them be a life and game changer for them. Keep hitting that pain point, or actually keep hitting my compassion point, right? My keep hitting that, and then say, listen, what I'd really love to do is really partner with you by going out and finding new business. I can refer to you, you refer to me. That's the answer, as opposed to, it's not that you don't say, well, I'm going to give you a 25% referral. No, it's I refer to you, you refer to me. You have that symbiotic relationship. As I think that will probably help take that a little further. So that's my bit on that. Sorry, I couldn't help it. Listen, I love being here. I love your, Unblinded and what you're doing and how you're changing lives. To the conversation that Stanley had this morning, I caught most of it. And that's truly the impact that what you're doing is having. And look, we're all game changers, brother. And I appreciate being on the journey with you and all of you that are on here as well.
No, thank you. It's been a crazy day. Had Stanley pouring his heart out. We've had David, NCAA champ, and like exits and craziness building and changing the world. We had 300,000 person Brian speaking in front of folks. We've got top jury verdicts. We've got new friends. We've got incredible people. We got Tony R., the big man in the house. It is Thankful Thursday. I'm Sean Callagy. I am going to go surf in a little while, and I will definitely be happy to avoid any more encounters with the men in gray suits. Have a beautiful day. Thanks.
Thanks you all so much.